Well, learning to call squares, I would strongly urge people to start with a traditional New England style square, and it's because it's phrased, and that way you get your vision used to whose corners with whom. How does this work? And you can get a nice pattern going. It's like calling a Contra, and have a fixed break and do it that way because you're continually on. And then perhaps break out into old time squares, unless of course you're in a region where you are so used to doing old time squares, where the phrasing is a little bit looser. You will already have that in your ear. You know, there are visiting couple southern squares. Those are easy. Those don't have to be phrased. Because you can always just run on home and swing your own and wait for the music to catch up to you. Some of the 50s squares, those take a little bit of extra work. Finding material from the 50s, I think the best way actually is things I've danced, things I've gotten from Larry Edelman, things I've gotten from Kathy Anderson. Kathy also writes a lot of material that feels 1950-ish. I have done the requisite trad caller thing of getting all those sets and orders and going through them, and that's where I made mistakes and realized, I love this, I get this pattern, and then I called it and thought, oh dear. And some of them I had to change to contrify them, to make them phrase a little bit better. So I used to have what I called guinea squares, and I'd get people together and I'd try them out. And I think I wore them out. I was ready to do 10 squares, and they're like, we're done. Some squares, the ones I love to do, are the ones that I can get into a rhythm and do a pattern for. And of course, that depends on what the music they play is. And I love it when I have a band that I know and I can say what key I want and what kind of flow I want, and I can just get into this, onto the corner with an element left. Now back to your partner, balance now. I love that pattern. And it's funny to me because when I do that, people come up and say, I love that singing square you did. I realized it's the pattern. Other squares, I have to break out of the pattern because I have to kind of cue through it. Make a left-hand start. Now, gents, make sure you're in that star. Keep moving it around. That's not pattern anymore. That's urging them around. And some of them change. Some of them I call one way, and some of them I call another because of the music and the crowd.